How's it going, everyone? Javita here with another Let's Play Boundless episode. Last episode I believe I said it's like, oh, this is going to be a crafting slash building episode. I really intended it to be more building than crafting, but unfortunately it ended up being almost all crafting. I did leave the majority of it in there just because, I don't know, first time we do stuff, I feel it's important to throw it in there, and then later, like, we've seen that, we know how to do it, and then kind of cut it out later on. And so this is actually kind of after the fact, but this is kind of a preview of what we're going to be doing this episode. We also do some crafting over here. Let's see here. Yeah, we got some grapples and some torches, showing how, I guess, throw that stuff together. But yeah, this is what we got so far on the house. It looks a little bit odd, but there's a method to the madness here. And also, had several people actually find the game key in the last episode, but apparently I guess they found it after it had already been used. So if you do find the game key and you use it, maybe throw down in the comments that, oh yeah, I found it, I used it. So since this episode is actually already recorded, I can't exactly, or I guess maybe I could try to hide another game key, but Cook Viper has prepared this awesome riddle, so I think I'm going to scatter the pieces of the riddle throughout the episode. They will be kind of in sequential order, and there are 4 lines. Also, there is at least one hint I'm going to give right now. If you head over to Cook's Corner, Cook Viper alludes that there should be some kind of hint somewhere around there. If you're unfamiliar with where Cook's Corner is, it's in Pixelgate, and you can get to Pixelgate from pretty much a lot of places. Portal Seeker Network, Jeff's Transfer Station, and even the Steampunk City will go directly to Cook's Corner. So yeah, lots of ways to get there, and I'll probably throw up a short little picture or clip of what it actually looks like, the general area. So let's get down to business here. So the first part of the riddle, there's 4 lines, 1 of 5, though most think 4. Anyway, let's get down to business and get building. Okay, so now we have a rough foundational outline, and so basically we can get rid of these torches. That's the wonderful thing about making outline and torches. I guess I've already mentioned that, you know, they're easy to remove and kind of allow you to visualize what you're possibly going to be making. As far as material types, I tried to follow kind of like if you were to actually build this into real life. So stone makes kind of the most sense as a foundational item. Maybe some logs for kind of like support structures. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we'll need to decide just how tall we want to make this, but that'll be okay for now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is something I probably should have gotten. Oh, nice, just leveled up. Probably should have gotten some jump skills, because that's going to make our life so much easier. And what happened there? Why is that texture? Maybe I rotated my camera while I was placing. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But let's check out the skills. And yeah, let's just go ahead, bite the bullet, and get these. Oh, sweet. So I perfectly had enough to get these 2 jump height bonuses. And as you can see, night and day difference. So now I can just jump right up onto these pillars. Some of these taller ones I'll still need a little boost, or maybe the double jump, but I'm actually not a huge fan of the double jump. So, or the, what do they call it? Air jump? Yeah, air jump. And then the climb up, ledge pull up thing is, it's a cool idea. It's just a little too unpredictable of when it's actually going to trigger. So
you know, it triggers a lot of the times when you don't want it to, and then times when you do want it to work, it doesn't work. But let's come over here. Oh, able to grab. There we go. Some grapples would be amazing to have. Ooh, so we need glue, sackcloth, we're good. Everything else we're good, we just need glue. So we do have some bones. Ooh, 11 bones, but we have like mountains of sap. So we don't need this twisted wood for now. That's all done, so plop our bones and glue down. And what do you mean missing one sap? Oh, that's literally one piece of sap. Okay. Where'd all my... There we go. Yeah, I get 340 pieces of sap. Did just a little bit of logging yesterday. Okay, now... So what? That'll get us 10 pieces of glue, I guess? So, it'll be a start. But yeah, the grapples will be invaluable for basically everything, but especially building. And... Okay, nice. So we'll only need 2 sackcloth if we're going to make 2 grapples, because I want to make some of these regular torches here, and each... Okay, so it's just 1 for those as well, for actually 4 torches, so... Okay, I think we're good on cloth. I was a little bit worried that we might have to go looking for fibrous plants, or yucca plants, I mean.
So line 2... named after art, light blue I wore.
So the next thing I want to do is, I probably shouldn't have removed all those torches, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, is there an easier? Okay, so we can right here kind of mark these squares, because we're not, at least I don't plan on subdividing each square, but I like the squares to be kind of marked out. It kind of ties into the decoration of the house, and, you know, if you wanted to put up walls in between, you know, that would be kind of the natural place to put the walls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that should be the right spot. Okay, so later on I'll probably continue these stones across here, and then also ring this first inside layer with stone. But for now, I think we're good. And this also marks where additional support pillars are going to go. There's that. Probably should get some torches placed. I apologize if this is probably a little dark for you guys. So I'll get some torches set up here in a moment. This area should be relatively safe for the time being. Alright, so I'll just throw some torches down here in the middle. And we're more or less lit up. So, awesome. So now we got our pillars into place. We need to go ahead and decide just how tall we want to make this. I certainly want to keep the option for a second story open as well as a basement. So that looks a bit tall. So let's do a mock-up of a crafting machine. So we're going to have a crafting machine, going to have it vertical. So there's our crafting machine. I think we want at least another block on top, so we need to be at least that tall, and then the block on top of that will be, I guess, the ceiling. So get my key binding straight here. Is it gonna let me place it up there? No? Where's my grapple? No, it's not. Can't quite get on top of that for some reason. Maybe now? No. There we go. Okay, so that is going to be, I guess, the roof. It seems awfully high. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Have an air gap, so that needs to be the roof right there. And then that is going to actually be chiseled to make it look even higher than it is. So let's get rid of this. Okay, so that looks pretty reasonable. Let's go grab the chisel and I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. So come over here. So we could just have the ceiling kind of like that and there be this 1 block gap, but you can make the ceiling seem even higher even though it's really not, by basically making it a half block. If you make it on the underside, then you don't have to worry about placing blocks on top of them and have them kind of floating. Just to show you what it looks like right quick. So I can still place a block there, however, it's going to be kind of floating, so a little bit unfortunate. Later on, probably my own time, I'll be chiseling the entire underneath of this deck, which is going to take quite some time. But I like, you know, I feel it gives it a better dock feeling instead of just being, you know, smashed right up against the water. Okay, so I went ahead and made all of my pillars kind of uniform, and so coming back to kind of trying to make the structure semi-believable, so I have these support pillars and they're kind of meant to be like, oh, they're made out of actual trunks or logs because, well, that's what they're actually made out of, these twisted trunks. But once they get up this high, come over here and now we have, I guess, the cross beams. I mean, you know, don't hold me too strictly to the technical terms of building because I'm no expert on them. So I'm gonna call them cross beams or rafters, or take your pick, really. So just gonna basically re-outline the house again here. Okay, so there we go. We have our outline, and just to kind of to hide some little blemishes, or not really blemishes, but just to make everything look a little bit better, or at least in my opinion, come over here and plop these just so like they're somehow crossing each other, and kind of basically to hide these ends where they don't quite line up correctly. So it kind of looks like that one continues over here. Maybe they're kind of cut halfway in between each other to fit together. And yeah, just kind of makes things simpler. You could put stuff there. It's kind of personal preference there. It's not really necessary. But certainly, as you can see right here, it's like, well, it's smooth there, but not here. What do you do with it? Okay, cover it up. At least that's my method to it. Oh, running out of dock here. Oh. Okay. Can I reach? Can I reach? Nope. So yeah, this is where grapples would come in handy, but also just making the deck bigger would certainly help. But then also this is where the whole kind of square thing comes in handy for, at least for me, because I get a little bit lost if I don't have any kind of structural plan in mind. But basically just follow your squares that you have subdivided. So got a beam there, have another major beam here. There we go. So as you can see, there's nothing special about this. It's, we stuck a bunch of boxes together and we kind of think to ourselves some basic rules on how they interact with each other, and you just follow a formula. So as I already mentioned, I'm going to outline this part in stone, but then also have stone coming across here to kind of designate each square. It's not really necessary to do that. That's just kind of how I did it. And so to kind of fill out the rafters even a little bit more, you can come here, and if I remember the dimensions right, kind of leave 2 gaps there, 1, 2, 3, and then perfect. So now we have these small gaps on the side with a slightly bigger gap here. And then go ahead and pull this across. Let's get our other spots marked out. And you might be wondering how I'm going to deal with merging all this stuff together. So basically I kind of alternate. And so as you can see, I can't really run it through, and so what do? And kind of my approach is I make it look like it's kind of weaved together. So this one goes completely through until it crosses this one. And since that one's going completely through, this one will break the line. And of course it will stop there because it's already gone through there. And so if you look, they're all kind of weaving / alternating, whatever you want to call that pattern. Certainly you could do it any which way you want to. Like, okay, these longer ones, like you could have beams running from this end all the way down here if you wanted. It's all personal preference. This is just how I did it. Okay, so I think you all kind of get the idea with that. Another touch that I put on these, since these are kind of the minor beams, I come along and I chisel them just to give a little more texture and I guess character. Looks like we need to eat some food here in a little bit. Okay, so now as you can see, there's just a little bit more definition between, okay, you got these major beams here followed with the minor cross beams, and just gives it a little bit more, I guess, dimension to it. And now we could come in, at least what I did with my house on Solom is I pulled the same Lustrious up and filled this area, chiseled out to be half blocks as well. And that makes the upstairs floor or ceiling for the downstairs. So that's just kind of how I did it. And so yeah, I think I'll go ahead and finish the rest of this off camera and come back when I'm done. Okay, we are back, and I kind of got everything sort of laid out, but I figured I'd come over here and check on whether or not we can craft grapples now. So I think I have ooh, yeah. Okay, so I might have to do that. I was thinking I was going to have to just do a single, but I could go ahead and do a bulk. That'll get me an extra grapple for basically cheaper. So, if I was just to craft 3 individual grapples. So, yeah, let's go ahead and bite the bullet and do that. And we should be able to... did we use... Okay, we're just missing sticks, flint. Okay, so we have everything, just not in that particular machine. So we need our minerals. Okay, there's our tallow and recipes. There we go. Can we keep... Okay, so we can't mass, but we can do a bulk. Let's go ahead and do that. And ooh, so we can craft copper. So what are we? Oh, we're missing definitely iron ingots. So nice thing. All the materials kind of come in tiers, and the same tier will group together. So you got your base metals; those group together. All the alloys will group together, as well as all the gems group together. So let's see here. Oh, nice! We can craft iron hammers. Okay, so we don't quite have enough glue. 1 glue, why? Why? How much do we... Okay, so we only need 8 glue. So yeah, we're gonna have to... Oh man, but we need more sackcloth too. So definitely want iron hammers, because that will allow us to get things like silver and gold. So yeah, we're gonna have to go hunting at some point. But anyway, coming back over to the house, so I made a little way to kind of jump up here. Certainly could use grapples, and if you don't have the jumping skills, you just need basically more of a staircase. But we see we have our rafters pretty well laid out, so now yeah, we could either work on what we have downstairs and kind of fill that out. We could certainly move our crafting machines over here, which I think I'll probably do that on my own time because that won't be particularly exciting to see me struggle with inventory and everything to get everything over here. I'll probably just craft new crafting tables so I'll have kind of a dumping ground, but so we could certainly come over here, and I think this is going to be my hangover for the roof. It's usually what I end up doing. So we can come here, and basically you could just make a whole outline or kind of go ahead and work on the peaks. So I think that's probably the lowest point, so we can kind of start stepping our way up, and it looks like I'm going to need more plots. Kind of just start doing the same thing over here, so hopefully we'll meet in a nice happy middle ground at some point. Unless of course I messed up somewhere. Oh, can I reach? Oh, there we go. Ha. Very nice. Okay, so that will work perfectly. We don't have a slope chisel yet, so about the best I can do is stairs for now to kind of give you an idea. But yeah, so depending on how you, if you want like a super pointy peak to your house, then you'll need it to where the top is kind of, I don't know. I guess you could just do that, and then that will give you, no. So with the dimensions that I picked, it comes to a point of essentially 3 blocks being the highest point. If you wanted to have an actual point at the peak instead of kind of a blunted point, you would need to space it out to where you have only 2 blocks up here. I personally like the kind of the blunted look, but it's down to personal preference. So you could either change the dimensions of your layout here, so you could do instead of 11 you could do 12, and that should give you the different dimensions. But again, personal preference and however you want it to be. So now we have kind of the outline there, and probably have that run all the way over here. Let's do another one here.
Line number 3. I'm not from space, but sad to say.
So yeah, I messed up somewhere here because this is not lining up quite right. What went wrong? Did I not come out far up? Yeah, see, I'm supposed to come out a little bit further than that. Okay, so there is my 3 all the way up top. Perfect. So just to make this harder on myself, so I want this part of the roof to run straight over there. So that's, you know, so it's going to be sloping off to either side, but I also want it to make a turn here because I want another peak over here. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm doing this. So I'll have a few blocks to remove there later, but no huge deal. And kind of the reason why I'm using stone here, I think the majority of the roof is going to be made out of wood, but I kind of do the edges just like, I don't know, a little extra wind or weather resistant. I mean, there's just kind of wanted to work in a greater variety of materials, and it looks like I messed up. This needs to be over here. So yeah, I mean, I've built this building before and I'm still messing up on it. So if you make mistakes, don't get too worked up about it. It's just kind of part of the creative process, and it looks like I messed up even yet again. So one of these sides did not go out far enough, which... Ooh. So that looks more or less right. So, oh. Eh. Okay, so we got some distracting... What did happen here? Jeez.
Finally, line number 4. It's the last line. I almost was, but no thanks to Bay.
Da, 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 da. It's like it's just not high enough for some reason. Because this lower bit is... I don't know. Something's not right. Well, okay. I think I just went too high up here. Maybe. We'll see. So now we got our 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm just going crazy. Yeah, we're at the same elevation as all the other 3 peaks. And yeah, I was just throwing myself for a loop there. And yeah. So don't need that extra bit there, and don't need this. So yeah, we are going to, I mean, we can make a copper slope chisel, and that will get us a fair distance, but for all the precise, detailed work that we need to do for the roof, we'll need a silver precise slope chisel. So it might be a while before we can actually finish the roof, but there's certainly no rush on it other than just appearance. We can certainly move in and start to actually use the building. Very nice. So we have the basic outline. I mean, in the past I've used twisted timber, but I got really tired of looking at it. I recently did some work on my original home in Solum and basically replaced it with refined twisted timber, which I think looks a lot nicer. I even used kind of a darker color, so I think it turned out pretty good. But obviously it's going to be a while since I'm going to be able to do that, so a small recap on something I mentioned last episode is that both the beacon and my new character will need names. So if you have cool name ideas, please suggest them down below. If you see somebody else's suggestion that you think is particularly great, go ahead and hit that thumbs up and kind of vote on it. Whichever name gets the most thumbs up will be the new name. And if nobody votes on anybody else's votes, or everybody just suggests their own name, it's kind of like everybody voting on themselves, and I'll just kind of have to randomly pick one. So just kind of keep that in mind. And for a small clarification on the answer to the riddle, it is a single word. So that's my final hints for the riddle. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. We got quite a bit of work done on the house. We just have to figure out a roofing material. Anyway, this was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more like this. And if you want to feel good about yourself and get cool perks at the same time, check out my Patreon page. As always, if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Until next time,
Peace.